wird euch präsentiert von Newton Artworks. And don't forget, like, subscribe and hit the bell. And now, welcome to the show.
Hi Metalheads, willkommen zu Metal's Forever Show Nummer 857 am 5.12.2024 und willkommen zur letzten Show in dieser genialen Woche mit den meisten Views ever, kann man fast sagen. Unglaublich. Mystery Moon haben wir richtig zugeladen, wir sind jetzt fast bei 5000. Wenn die Bands Werbung machen, dann ist es super geil. Heute haben wir aber wieder was Premiere, wir haben einen neuen Hintergrund. Jawohl, Hintergrund, wieder ein bisschen was Neues. Bin immer ein bisschen am Basteln und so, ja. Liebe Freunde, heute kann es mir ein bisschen leichter machen, weil ich kann zuschauen. Wir haben erstmal einen Anheizer mit zwei Legenden, die ich versuchen werde, natürlich in die Sendung zu bekommen, ganz klar. Nämlich Elefson und Soto. Also, das sind schon zwei mega Musiker. Und heute die ganze Sendung von Anfang bis Ende ist Red Pack Records. Alle, auch die drei Videos zum Schluss. Und heute habe ich zu Gast schon aufgezeichnet Mr. Todd Michael Hall und Kurdt Vanderhoof, die Legende von Metal Church. Total geiles Interview auf Englisch, liebe Freunde, aber tolle Musik dabei, tolle Videos und tolle Stories und die plaudern aus dem Nähkästchen. Liebe Freunde, ich würde sagen, erstmal Vorankündigung, was euch erwartet und dann sehen wir uns in der Aftershow-Party. Okay? Also, dranbleiben, es kommen noch 3 geile Videos zum Schluss. So, auf geht's, Freunde, let the madness begin.
The Metalheads Forever Rockcast show is proud to present heavy metal all the way from the USA. Legendary Riot V, singer Todd Michael Hall and Metal Church legend Kurdt Vanderhoof. The Metalheads Forever Rockcast show salutes you.
Elfson Soto. Sehr, sehr geil. Bin doch nochmal da, weil ich habe gerade vergessen, euch zu begrüßen da draußen, wenn ich jetzt zum Schluss noch mal reinkomme. Erstmal meine lieben Zuschauer schon mal auf Facebook. Irma del Carmen, Greetings. Marty Punch, mein lieber Marty, Servus. Und Andi Dormann, Servus. Andi, wann machen wir ein Interview mit Dor? Ich hoffe im neuen Jahr, oder? So, und natürlich dann hier auf, wenn ihr schon mal da auf Facebook seid, rüber zu YouTube. Da drüben ist es besser. Da ist es wärm, habe ich mir sagen lassen. Wenn ihr schon mal da seid, liken natürlich, Like-Button nicht vergessen und abonnieren, wenn es noch nicht abonniert habt. So, ich begrüße ganz lieb den Peter Krause, Servus, lieber Heiko Schäfer, sei gegrüßt, liebe Gisela. Ich weiß, dass du heute wirklich eine Freude hattest, dass ich die Queen of Distortion gebucht habe, oder? Danke dir, liebe Gisela. So muss es sein. Einfach unsere Karten oder was weitergeben oder die Sendung empfehlen und uns Bands bringen. Sehr, sehr geil. Dann der Fabian Rüst, das war ein geiles, heute ist ein sehr, sehr geiles Gespräch mit dir und da bahnt sich was Schönes an. Freut mich total. So, liebe Freunde, und alle, wo vor der Tür stehen, einloggen, mit dabei sein. Und jetzt gibt es erstmal den Song Off the Rails vom neuen Album von Todd Michael Hall, featuring Kurdt Vanderhoof. Lese ich euch dann in der Aftershow-Party mit 3 neuen Videos. Okay? In diesem Sinne, viel Spaß. Hier ist Todd Michael Hall featuring Kurdt Vanderhoof.
Leaning close, I have something to tell you if you have a moment to spare. But let me first check prevailing winds, 'cause there's something strange in the air. It's kind of hard not to notice the changes. Our freedom isn't so ironclad. It's no surprise that so many people are wondering if our world has gone mad. There is a growing list of things we dare not discuss. Touching on one of them will surely invite animals. It is out and up is down.
And now, welcome to the show, Todd Michael Hall and Kurdt Vanderhoof. Good to see you again.
Nice.
This is the same place. I remember 3 years ago, this was the same place, Kurdt.
Yeah, here in my office.
That's the proof that a monster hurricane was not on your place.
No, I'm
not.
on the West Coast.
Very good. Very good.
We don't have.
Good to see you again.
We have earthquakes. We don't have hurricanes here.
Very cool. And once again, congratulations to this fantastic album, Off the Rails. And I'm happy to see you both still rocking together after the Sonic Healing album was Monster album, and now another one that we talk about today. But before we talk about the new album, give us a little bit of story. Todd, we start with you. Todd, give me a story how everything started with you. What was your upbringing? Go back to your childhood. Always a musician? Was the family a musician?
My dad is, music is really just background for him. But my mom has always been one that really loved music and loved to listen to the lyrics and find meaning in the songs. And she always had a varied taste too. When I was younger, she would listen to pop and country and even rock. I remember having, like Deep Purple 8 tracks and stuff like that. So she was pretty open-minded with music, and she kind of instilled a love for music. And I think as a family, when we would drive, we would, here in Michigan, we always call it going up north, where you go to a more rural area. And I remember driving up north because that's where my mom's family was from, and we'd all be singing along in the car to various songs. So it's really always been so from the very youngest age. I think when I was 5 years old in kindergarten, I remember singing along, being in the school choir and stuff like that. So yeah, it's just always been a thing for me. And then my older brother, who was about 4 years older than me, he got into guitar and music first. Took guitar lessons when he was, pretty young, and then I ended up following up with, piano lessons and stuff. But yeah, so I know it was kind of always music in my life. And my brother got into like Ted Nugent and a lot of the hard rock stuff. That as we went from the 70s into the 80s, it was just perfect timing for me as far as music and coming to age. There was just a lot of great music coming out at the time too. So that's when I kind of got bit with the bug and thought I wanted to be a rock and roll star one of these days. So I'm still trying. 40 years later,
I must say, when I saw you live, this was the tour with Primal Fear and Existence. This tour I saw you in Germany, and you blew me away. On this day, you had the pipes. Holy cow! What guy is this? This was actually, I discovered you. To be honest, because I was already in Thailand, living for many years. So I had no knowledge about the rock scene, the metal scene, and I was blown away. From this day, I became a fan. Say, this is a guy with serious pipes. Holy cow! And this was on this day. Maybe you remember this day. It was the day Ralf Schippers had also a flu. It was in Calm, and he was fighting. He was fighting for his life on this day. But he not even talked to me because he said no talking before the show. I said, okay, Ralf, I understand, because we talked many times before. This day he was serious. He had a really problem with the voice, but he delivered. But you kicked ass big time. And excuse my French, but it was fantastic. That's why I say, oh, and yeah. So when you discovered when I think about metal singers with a clear voice, not a raspy voice. Clear voices like Jolene Turner, for example. He had this serious pipes. With Rainbow, for example, was like singers like him. You said, okay, I like this kind of singing.
I guess to me, everybody kind of has what I consider their genetic. I think it's genetic predisposition. That's the only way I can explain it. Because I can't. For me, I listen to someone like a Brian Johnson, for example, or even Axl Rose, and they have this certain way of singing. But even Mike Howe and David Wayne, singers from Metal Church, I think you have this genetic predisposition for a certain style of voice. Even that fella from the New Roses, and I'm forgetting his name. They just kind of have when they kick into singing in the higher ranges, this rasp, all this comes. I think for me, I've never had that. almost impossible for me to sing it. If you look at my stuff with Reverence, that's about as raspy as I can get. And even that, I have to be really careful because I don't know how to put rasp in my voice without over amping it. And then it actually hurts my throat to sing that way. But to give you an example out of the pop world, there's a guy, Bryan Adams, who has that raspy kind of voice. And my wife and I, we met as pen pals, and we actually kind of met because of Bryan Adams, not literally, but she was a pen pal because of Bryan Adams and being in his fan club, and that's kind of how the wires got crossed for us, and we met. So to celebrate that, I took her to see Bryan Adams here in my hometown, and this was probably about 10 years ago now, and we were right in the front row. Like I knew someone, and I got front row tickets. Like literally, it was a theater, and it was just him and an acoustic guitar, and then they had a piano player too, so it was the acoustic thing. And we were sitting there just leaning on the stage, like staring at him. And I remember looking at him at the beginning, and his neck veins are popping out, and he's got that hoarse thing happening. And I remember looking at my wife and thinking, he's going to be losing his voice by the end of the show. And he didn't at all. Like at the end of the show, he still sounded fantastic. And I think what it is like some people, that's just the way they sound. They sound like they're ready to lose it at any minute. But that's just what they sound like. I think Sammy Hagar has an element of that too, where he sounds like he's straining, and I've just never had it. So I think, and so to kind of get around to answering your question, sorry, I have too long of answers, but I think that as a singer, you tend to gravitate toward the people that have voices more similar to yours. And so I was a lot like that, although I do listen to a lot of singers that have that raspy ability, and I love it. Eric Adams to me was a perfect example because he could sing clean as well as raspy. But even Paramore McCartney from Warrior, the fella from Q5 whose name's escaping me. I mean, a lot of these people, they have that raspy kind of tone that I really think sounds cool, but I'm like incapable of doing it. And that's why I think Riot is such a perfect band for me, because they like a really clean singer, and I have that in spades, So.
Yeah, Riot 5 is great. Love it, love them. And okay, but by the way, before we go to Kurdt and maybe his little story, this video you posted not long ago, how you met your wife, and the beautiful music. I forward this to my wife. She's Filipina. I said, look at this. Is this not beautiful? I said, wow, this is beautiful. It's so romantic and beautiful, I must say.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, well, it just so happened on my very first trip to India, I talked my brother Rick into going, and that was in 1996. And he brought along a video camera, and this was back when they had tapes in them, not the big, huge tapes, but like the small. And he brought along a video camera, and so we just happened to capture some footage of it. So that's what the video. Yeah, I mean, I brought together some clips from that. Even my kids were like, "I've never seen that before."
Beautiful, really, and the soundtrack is perfect.
Thank you.
Perfect. So Kurdt Vanderhoof, the legend. For me, it's a legend because I was a fan in the 80s already from Metal Church. Give me your story. There was. I guess there was a time where you have the long hair, but there was a time when you was very, very young. How it started with you? Go back to the 70s, I guess now.
60s for me.
60s. Oh, right.
Yeah. Well, I mean, for me, like a lot of people my age, I mean, it started with the Beatles on Ed Sullivan. That was like my first memory. I had shown interest in music, apparently. So my parents, they kind of thought that I would like to see this because we always had the radio going and stuff in the kitchen and things like that. And I had apparently had a real attraction to it. So they plopped me down in front of the television on that night in February, 65. And I just remember, I remember that. And then I know that following birthday, which was in June, that was in February. In June, I got a toy drum set. And then that's how it started. I started off being a drummer, and then, oh boy, I'd say I played drums for 5 or 6 years. And then I switched to bass, and then I went back. Then I switched to guitar and kind of just moved through for that. But there was never really any doubt once I kind of realized how much I love music, even as a kid. And I think my parents picked up on that as well. My mom was a singer in the big bands when she was a kid, when she was a teenager. So she tolerated me playing drums in the bedroom. And my dad was a DJ. He was he was in radio his entire life. So I kind of came from that kind of background and environment. So it was just, I never looked back. I mean, there was some times during junior high and high school where I played football and played some sports and stuff, but then I discovered, that getting stoned and listening to rock music was a lot easier than sitting around playing guitar. I'm not saying I'm proud.
I guess in this time,
it was the 70s, so it came in the mail, and it was like, so I did that. But so I played sports for a while and was reasonably good at it. But there was never any doubt. I mean, I was just, this is what I'm going to do. And it's never stopped. And my passion for it probably has even increased the older I get, because the more I learn, and I started getting into the engineering aspect of things and recording and songwriting, and still the whole songwriting thing for me is still very much a personal challenge to try to get better at that in different genres and different things like that. So yeah, I mean, it's been a constant for me my entire life. So.
Did you feel this or because when the Kings, for example, the Kings was, you really got me the first real rock actually with harder than Hendrix, Deep Purple, Sabbath.
Yeah, I was Hendrix and all that stuff. I was really lucky because my dad worked at a radio station in the 60s, and at that time they played what was called adult contemporary, which was Ray Conniff, Percy Faith, just this real, I guess you'd call it Muzak, kind of just safe pablum stuff, but they would still get all the promo records of all the rock stuff, and he would just bring it home to me. So as a little kid, I had just stacks of promo records of stuff that was just free because they wouldn't play it, and none of the other people at the radio station had kids. So I just was inundated with it. I mean, it was a wonderful blessing indeed. I wish I still had some of those records now, because they're probably way out of print, but I was into it right out of the box. So I guess because of the age, excuse me when I say that people like or the guitar players like if guitar was for you interesting already, like Clapton or Jeff Beck, was this or you already more in the heavy stuff? I was probably, well, I didn't start playing guitar, let's see, probably the 6-7 years till the very early 70s. I played bass for a while and then was in my first band as a bass player, and we were playing early 70s rock. And then I started picking up guitar from the other guitar players in the band. And then for me as a guitar player, I started getting into Alex Lifeson was a huge influence. Pete Townsend was a huge influence. I liked Hendrix, but for some reason I just didn't pay that much attention. So then it was that Ted Nugent was a huge, Grand Funk Railroad was a big influence on me. So, and then I kind of gravitated towards to the songwriters rather than the lead guitar players, because I'm not really a lead guitar player. I prefer playing rhythm guitar. And for example, like Ted Nugent, yeah, he's an amazing lead guitar player, but for me, I was fascinated how he came up with that riff. Stranglehold or Cat Scratch Fever, or any of that. That's where I gravitated towards. So I never really got into the lead guitar thing. Alex Lifeson, Rush, probably if I had to pick a favorite band, it would probably be Rush.
From Rush, so more progressive metal.
Yeah, and I really got into the progressive stuff too, and even lately, the last 20 years, I really went back and revisited that whole genre, because there was a whole bunch of bands that I missed. Because in the 70s, there was so much going on that you couldn't pay attention to everything, and you didn't have a computer or anything, so you would have to discover different things.
Exactly.
Print magazines.
I always love to talk to the elder generation of musicians, because this is also my time, because I hit 60 in the near months, and it's exactly the end 70s, and then this invasion of the British heavy metal, and what at them. Then of course all these great bands in the 80s. This for me was the golden year of heavy metal, was for me this time, and of course Metal Church was one of the bands. Great. Cool. So when you started with Metal Church, when it's exactly happened, you remember what year was it exactly?
Probably 81. Well, I tried to start the band when I was living in San Francisco. I had relocated to San Francisco from Seattle with the punk band that I was in. I loved the first generation punk stuff a lot too. But we relocated to San Francisco, and after a little while, I kind of felt it was kind of a dead end. I mean, punk was only going to get so big because it was kind of a niche thing. It was cool and all that, and I love it, but it was never really going to do anything. And then all of a sudden I started hearing rumblings of these bands called like Iron Maiden and Motorhead and stuff like that. And then when I discovered it, I went, okay, it has all the elements, the aggression of punk music that I like, but with musical ability. So that's when I went, okay, I'm in for this. And then I tried to start Metal Church when I was down there, but it didn't happen. So I ended up getting it together when I moved back to Washington.
Todd, was Metal Church on your radar already in the 80s?
Yeah, well, I had two older brothers. My older brother Rick was like a year and a half older than me, and he had a friend who was a bit older than us, and together they started a record store that in my hometown of Saginaw was very famous. It was called Heavy Metal Unlimited. They used to get, artists come there like Megadeth and Queensryche and Poison did record store signings there. And so my brother Rick he had everything and was into a lot of stuff. And actually Metal Church, like that first album, The Dark, I remember him playing the hell out of that one. He just loved it. And I know when Kurdt and I first got together, he said we should name it Vanderhall, or because he had the Hall of Flame, the Vander, and all, Hall of Flame. I think that's what and Kurt's like, oh wow, he's digging that one out,
Oh yeah, when you brought that up, it was like, no, he doesn't know about that.
Yeah, so my brother Rick, definitely a big fan of Metal Church and even Kurt's other stuff. He's been a big fan of Kurdt.
So how was the reaction of your brother when he heard the very first time you do something together with Kurdt?
What it's like with brothers. It's kind of hard it depends on the family. In my family, it's a little tough to get like recognition, so to speak. They're not going to tell you you're doing a great job. And so I remember two times in my life, when I joined Riot, I remember my older brother, John, really he didn't necessarily say anything to me, but he would tell other people and I would hear it that way, like, hey, Todd's in Riot, because my brother John was a big fan of Riot, especially the early Riot stuff and even on the deal. And then I think my brother Rick was the same way. When I started working with Kurdt, like he didn't tell me I was cool, but you could tell the input. It's like, oh wow.
I had the pleasure today to listen to the new album. It's fantastic, but I would say we bring also a little bit of older songs as well from Sonic Healing, and the next song will be Overdrive. I would say we listen first to Overdrive, then you give me a little story. Okay?
All right.
Here's Overdrive.
Midnight drive I'm with you, I feel so alive. You shift my motor into overdrive. When I'm with you, I feel so alive. You shift my motor into overdrive. The fuel you feed me makes my essence thrive. You shift my motor into overdrive. When I'm with you, I feel so alive. You shift my motor into overdrive. The fuel you feed me makes my essence thrive. You shift my motor into overdrive.
Overdrive. That was my first song I heard from your last album, and I was surprised in what direction it goes. It's like a little old school heavy metal, because I expected maybe Kurdt Vanderhoof, this could be like Metal Church. No, it's not. It's not like Riot V. This is nice metal, good melody, good drive. Of course, Overdrive. So what is the story to Overdrive?
I mean, really, basically, what happened is, at the time, I knew Joe O'Brien from Rat Pack Records. He had talked to me earlier. Riot had almost signed with Rat Pack, and so when I was on The Voice, I had this desire to kind of do something that was kind of more old school rock. I had done a bunch of metal albums in a row between Reverence and Burning Starr and Riot. And so I really was in the mood to do something that was more classic rock inspired. And when I got on The Voice and the Jukebox Hero that I did, it went over pretty well. And so that's when I went to Joe and said, Joe, man, I really want to do something. And he said, look, I think I've got a guy. And that's when he introduced me to Kurdt. And Kurdt is like the riff master. I haven't worked with anyone like Kurdt. He's amazing. I remember reaching the point where he was like, no, I'm busy on something. And all of a sudden I think we got into March, and he told me, all right, I'm ready, because we bonded over a couple Zoom calls talking about our love of classic rock. And he's like, all right, I'm getting in the groove. And he called me, and like, it was a period of 21 days. He wrote 18 songs. It was amazing. It was unbelievable. And actually it was kind of during that lockdown time. Yeah, for me. And so I remember we would go back and forth. It was so funny because we would text or we'd call, and he'd be like, I just put one in the Dropbox. And I'd be like, oh yeah, I just put one in the Dropbox. Like I kept, and we went back and forth, and like within 3-4 weeks, I think we had written 15 or 16 songs together. So it was amazing how fast, and there was just so much excitement and energy. And yeah, I mean, Kurdt has he's got this great ability to write music in general, but he's got a great sense of melody, and he writes these songs where then when I listen to him, the melodies just start popping off for me. So, but yeah, Overdrive, really, that wasn't the first song we wrote. The first song that I wrote for Kurdt was, oh my God.
Let Me Loose Tonight? No,
it was, oh my God, the more ballady one, and I'm totally forgetting the name because all I can think of is the one off the new album.
Running After You?
Running After You, yes.
Okay.
Running After You. Oh, we will find a way. I remember like it just blossomed into this huge chorus, and I distinctly remember Kurdt, texting me back and saying, I think we got something here, and Overdrive ended up being the lead single just because it had such a great driving riff. It just kind of really, it felt like it really pulled you in. So we were like, both Kurdt and I were like, that's got to be the first song on the album and the lead.
Yeah.
It kind of set the stage for the whole thing. Yeah.
Was this for you like a secret love you have in you? This old school metal, this more melodic metal, by side of Metal Church, for example? Was it like and yeah?
Oh, absolutely. Well, I mean, classic rock, that's what I grew up with, and there was a
Yeah.
time when I was a kid, and I'm sure you can relate, when there's a time when you couldn't rock me hard enough. So that's why the punk and the metal thing happened. But,
Yeah.
after years and years, it's like, and that's one of the things when Joe introduced me to Todd, we had met because we played with Riot in Sweden, I believe.
Yeah.
And I'm a huge Riot fan. I mean, a matter of fact, Metal Church used to play Riot songs when we were started off as a cover band. So when we played with him, then it was like, when Todd and I hit it off, and I was like, wow, he was really good. And then we went on our separate tours. But when Joe introduced me to him, he showed me the clip from The Voice. And then I heard the other stuff and said, this guy wants to do a rock album. And I'm like, and I heard his voice like, wow. It was like, okay, you don't find singers like that very often.
Absolutely. Agreed.
That's very rare. So we connected with that. We got along great. And when he said he wanted to do a classic rock thing, I'm in. I mean, that's perfect for me because, that's that kind of stuff that comes out like with Todd's record and the Hall of Fame stuff. When I'm writing, that's what comes out of me without thinking. That's what I just sit down and play. It comes out just
There's your heart.
just rock stuff. So that was incredible. So that was an incredible opportunity, and we had a lot of fun. Like you said, it was during the lockdown, so we had plenty of time to concentrate on it. So I don't know. I had a great time. That's why we did another one. I mean, it's great to have. It's great to have a lot of different outlets, and like I said, I like to do different kinds of music. I mean, Presto Ballet is kind of a 70s prog rock thing. I mean, if it has 70s in it, I'm probably into it, So it's just kind of the way it is for me. But yeah, I mean, then the rock stuff, and then the classic metal stuff, the 70s metal, obviously the Deep Purple, and then the progressive stuff. And I just like music. I'm completely musically schizophrenic, and I can go from.
I would say, from a style a little bit like the early Sammy Hagar stuff, like driving metal, from the music, not from a voice. I was very, very curious when I heard, okay, there comes an album out, or the first single, Todd Michael Hall from Riot V and Kurdt Vanderhoof from Metal Church. This must be metal.
Right.
And I was totally surprised that it was not. It was, and the new album is the same. The new album, I have the feeling, the new album is more like a grown-up. Like you hear this. There's so many great tunes on it, and of course, it's the riffs again, but also the fantastic melodies.
Cool.
It sounds very relaxed. It worked. The chemistry is there. Absolutely. Fantastic album. And I said, okay, I choose 5 songs, and let's say what songs jumps on me. So I listened to this 2-3 times today and say, okay, that is definitely one of them. This is definitely one. And then comes one and I say, wow, what? This is, but this song started slow and then became a monster great song. But I talk about that later. Now comes the next one, and there's also a video for this, and I chose The Doctor, and Todd says, yeah, The Doctor. It's also this will be a video because it's such a strong song. Let's say we listen first to The Doctor, and then you give me the story, okay? The Doctor.
If you're feeling Your satisfaction is guaranteed.
Who the hell is the doctor? Give me the story. The doctor.
Actually, that song's kind of funny. It has a little bit more of a story for it, and you could see in the credits. But Frank Gilchrist, the drummer from Riot, he had a hand in that song. Because what happened is, I originally wrote the song, and believe it or not, it was called Open Road, which is funny because then later on, Frank ended up contributing lyrics to a Riot song that was called Open Road. So there were these two songs. I was working on a song with Mike, and I had a totally different name for it. And Frank ended up coming in and changing it, and it became Open Road. Meanwhile, I had this song called Open Road, but I don't know, I wasn't totally satisfied with it. I wasn't convinced it was good as it could be because I loved the opening riff. So I went to Frank and said, Frank, listen to this thing and let me know, does some other melodies and stuff pop in your head? And I wasn't expecting him to necessarily change the topic, but I wasn't necessarily married to the topic either. And he came back with this notion of this chorus, call me the doctor, and it was like kind of totally different from what I had come up with. And so he came up with some lyrics. So then we actually worked together on lyrics and vocal melodies. And so Frank has a co-write. This is the one song on the album where I didn't write the lyrics and vocal melodies solely by myself. So Frank has a co-write on it, and he's the one that kind of came up with the concept. And it's one of those songs that has a little bit of double entendre. I mean, to me, I feel like I know what it's about, but it has a little bit of a wink toward being sexual too, I guess you would say. But
and Dr. Love.
yeah.
Gene Simmons vibe.
So
yeah,
but yeah.
To clarify, who is Mike? Mike is the guitar player from Riot.
Yes, yeah. Mike
with the short hair. Yeah. I was right in front of him in the concert. Right in front. He was right. He has chemistry. This guy. I tell you.
He's an incredible guitar player. I don't know that he gets his due, but he's also, in terms of, he's like this incredibly, like when he puts his mind to a solo, like actually my more pop rock solo albums, Mike has done most of the guitar solos on them because he just has this, it's hard to describe, but when he goes about a solo, he tells me that Mark Reale told him that the solo should be a song within the song. Mm-hmm. And so he takes it very seriously to kind of create a whole melodic thing and a certain theme and everything with a guitar solo. Certainly if you give him time, some solo sections are short. But yeah, so he's definitely an amazing player. It's incredible ability.
In this show, I remember I was always looking at you and also your younger guitar player with the long hair.
Yeah, Nick.
But he's not anymore with you, no?
Well, Nick is an absolute bundle of energy, and he did all the recording on the album, and he's still really the official member of the band. It's just that I honestly, I've heard different things. The latest thing I've heard is it's a sickness called NORS, N-O-R.
Yes, he's sick. Yeah.
Abbreviation. But he keeps getting seizures, and so it's really seriously affected his ability to play. But more than anything, like to perform live. So we've had a couple replacement guitar players right now. We've been using Jonathan Reinheimer to play live, just because it's scary to bring him internationally and have him go into seizures or something on stage, when we're traveling, because we just never know how close we're going to be to medical help or anything. And not that he always needs it, but yeah, that's been the issue. So he's just working on getting better so that he can come back. And I'm not sure when that would happen.
Fingers crossed. He's great. I mean, so this is like the younger brother of Donny, for example. Donny's like the old school, with his head, and Frank, the powerhouse, and Mike was like so cool dude. Normally, when it comes to metal, I was always a little old-fashioned long hair, but now the newer generation is actually. Kurdt is now in bald.
Yeah, now I'm not just bald; I'm fashionable. Yeah,
yeah.
And Todd,
fortunately, it became fashionable. Fortunately,
why you cut off your hair, Todd? Is there a reason for this?
Yeah. Well, let's see. The funny thing is, Mike talks about it all the time. He's like, "Well, if I had your hair, it'd still be long." Mike's saying his is thin. Mine is not thinning. I mean, I imagine it's thinning a little bit. I could grow long hair. I think I just got sick of the ponytail and got sick of, I don't know, just wanted to try it short for a while. I'd look at myself in the mirror and I'd think, man, you look ridiculous. And I don't know. As you get older, this is going to sound horrible. I just, I don't want to look like an old lady up on stage, And so I don't know, so I just struggle with it. There are times when I look at myself with long hair and I'm thinking, as you get older and your skin starts to sag and stuff, I'm just not sure that the long hair looks good on me anymore, but we'll see.
It's a thing we don't want to admit as musicians, that maturity does take its toll.
Yes, absolutely.
Come on. Oh, God.
And I think for me, it's something I've struggled with for a long time, because I am really old school, and I seriously feel like without long hair, I'm not really a rocker, because I run a company for a living, and so I feel like an imposter when I just come out on stage and I'm like, oh, wow, you're a business guy. You're not really a rock guy, and so I felt like I had to have the long hair for the longest time. But then I look out and there's so many people nowadays that just have short hair, and I'm thinking, well, why can't I have short hair too? So I thought, all right, screw it. And actually, I cut it short. I cut it just to my shoulders at first, but then I thought it looked so ridiculous that I just cut it more. And I get constant teasing from the guys in the band. They say that I look like there was a Beavis and Butthead. So apparently I look like Beavis or Butthead. I don't know which one, but that's what they tell me.
I thought you looked like a teacher.
Yeah.
But
I'll tell you, if I had hair, man, it'd be long. If I had it, it left me really early, so I'm used to it. But but the grass is always greener, I suppose.
Yeah.
But
look, even Kurdt rags on me. I'm supposed to have long hair,
Yeah, dude,
yeah.
But
Of course, it was the 80s. But the hair is not, this is over. But look, James Hetfield, for example, how cool this dude looks. This is not important anymore.
No, it's not that big of a deal. 1976, it was a huge issue. But now it's really not. I think I'm kind of glad that there is still some things about long hair and the look that still is immediately applicable to rock and roll. I'm glad that still exists. If you have short hair or don't have any, it doesn't mean you're not. But yeah, if you got long hair and full head of hair, rock, it's like he must be in a band. I like the fact that it still says that.
Yeah.
I can't promise I won't grow it out again. I don't know.
I told a story before many times, but I had the pleasure to interview Graham Bonnet, and he told me the story with Blackmore when Blackmore had forbidden him to cut his hair during the tour, and in Holland. They had a bodyguard standing in front of his hotel room, and he sneaked out in the window, and he found a barber shop and cut off his hair again. And he was so angry. Blackmore was so angry. He gave him the poison look on stage, And the next day, the whole crew and band was at the breakfast room, and Blackmore came in and they say, "Rich, what's happened? What's going on with you?" He said, "The hair. Look at the hair." This was like this, and he said he always wanted the short hair. I hate his long hair. I look ridiculous. And now he's in again.
Yeah.
Well, it's not easy. I remember having long hair, and it's you know, you got to, it's not easy. I mean, this is incredibly easy. You know, this is, you know, I mean, but maintaining long hair and keeping it looking good and taking care of it, it's a thing, you know. So there's that. You know?
Yeah, that's my other nickname in Riot. They call me Grand Bonnet.
Really? So here we go. All right. We go one more time back to the Sonic Healing album, and we play now Let Loose Tonight. Okay? Here we go. Let Loose Tonight.
You know, for me, that song just screamed old school rock. You know, the riff, and you know, the funny part is I'm not a very good guitar player at all. I'm kind of a hack, and so I had Kurdt teach me how to play quite a few of these songs, and this is the one I could just never get the hang of that riff in full speed. I would have to like slow it down or play it. So I don't know, Kurdt, what were you thinking when you wrote that, or it just came out of you, right?
Yeah, well, but also, you know, when we started putting the album together, it was kind of like, okay, let's, you know, what are some of these grooves that are classic that you don't hear anymore? Because so many modern rock and metal records, there's no dynamics to the record. Production-wise, a lot of albums sound exactly the same. Everybody's got the same guitar sound, etc. But there's no variation like there used to be. You know, a lot of the bands would have, you know, their hard rock songs, and then they'd go over here for a minute, and then they'd go over here for a minute. And, you know, and I kind of wanted to kind of incorporate some different kind of grooves, stuff that I haven't done for a long time. So I think that was kind of the shuffly ZZ Top kind of shuffle, that kind of.
Yes, I like this groove.
Yeah, and that's so
very cool.
Yeah, it was a matter of just kind of bringing in some different elements, and again with the premise that we were working on, the template, it's like, well, this is the perfect time to try some different stuff. So
yeah, it worked. I love the song, especially the groove. That's special. Now we come to for me, the highlight of the album, to be honest. This song blew me away. The song Gone. But before we talk about it, let's play Gone first, okay? And here we go, Gone.
Restless evening, sleepless night, saved once again by the coming daylight. A falling teardrop leaves a faint line down my cheek. The smallest things can bring me to my knees. Oh, you will always haunt my world, 'cause I'm incomplete. Life is not the same. Guess I'm lucky, there's work to do. It keeps me busy, so I won't keep thinking of you. I struggle to accept the cold fact that my life goes on and you're not coming back. Oh, you will always haunt my world, 'cause I'm incomplete. Life is not the same. Restless evening, sleepless night, saved once again by the coming daylight. Oh, you will always haunt my world, 'cause I'm incomplete. Not the same. I'm wondering where I belong in this crazy world. not the same now that you're gone.
What is the story? Gone, Todd.
I think one of the big difference between Off the Rails and Sonic Healing is there was just a little bit more of what I would call, I kind of call it moodiness or a little bit of emotionalness, and it just came down to the music that Kurdt gave me. And what was interesting is when I wrote Sonic Healing, my brother John had passed away, like literally a couple weeks before Kurdt and I started. It was a weird time for me with the pandemic, but then the joy of being on The Voice, but then my brother dying and all this stuff. And I did write, a song for my brother on the album, On the Other Side. It was a bonus song on Sonic Healing. But, it was funny because a year or two later, he's still on my, when I think of music, I just think of my brother a lot. And so a year or two later, there were a batch of, I can't even remember how many songs, 16, 17 songs, and 4 of them were inspired by my brother. Now, one was an acoustic song that didn't end up on the album, but the other 3 did. So really, Are You With Me is really got elements of my brother in there. Gone does as well, and so does Part of Me. And Gone, I wasn't sure. I remember playing it for my brother Rick, and he's like, I don't know, because I was trying to work on some of the lyrics, and he's like, I don't think it's that special. And I'm like, really? I'm really digging it for some reason, but it was an early version, maybe he likes it better now. I think, for me, there's just, what's interesting about the song too, is it kind of has this build. It almost has these different melodic parts that come into play, during the song. So it almost feels like you don't really hit the chorus till the end, or there's just multiple melodic elements. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I really like it. I consider it moody. I wasn't sure how people would respond to having like a moodier song like that on the album, but I'm glad to hear you like it. So.
I love it, especially on the second half of the song when the sun goes up, when the sun is so beautiful. The song, love it. Be honest, it's so far my favorite. But the more I listen to the stuff, the more I'm sure I fell in love with this song. Definitely. Very, very cool. Good story, of course. And I think because of it comes out of your heart. That's why the song is so great. This is an honest song.
The funny part is, Kurdt is getting himself refamiliarized with the songs because we're playing a show this coming Friday, which is October 25th. So I'll be, gone by the time. But Kurt's going to fly into Saginaw. We're having an album release show. Playing with some local musicians, and there's 6 songs off Sonic Healing and 6 songs off the Rails. So we're going to be playing these songs, but Gone is one that we're not playing, and so Kurt's probably like, "What does Gone sound like again?"
Dude, exactly. How does that one go? I don't remember.
Very cool. All right, the next one. I'm glad I chose the right one because this is another video you produced. Because this will be in December. This is this interview broadcast. So. And I didn't know. And another one pick will be a video. And here's one. And this is you just mentioned before. Are You With Me? And here's the song. Are You With Me?
It happens all the time. Maybe the wind is at it again, playing tricks on my mind. Hoping to catch a glance. Shadow shifting, my vision blurs as if I'm caught in a trance. How can I possibly be fooled when I know where you lie? once again, I can sense it, happens all the time. Maybe the wind is at it again, playing tricks on my mind. There is a place between day and night where life and death intertwine. I'll meet you with the hinterland if you send me a sign. The rational part of my brain is screaming, our time here is finite. I feel a chill up my spine, I'm wondering, are you with me tonight? Are you with me tonight? Are you with me tonight? Are you with me tonight?
Yeah, Are You With Me? Another killer song.
Thank you. That's one where I call it more moody and like more of a slower burn type of song. I mean, even though they're moody, there's still like a heaviness to it. For that one, as I was listening to it, I don't know, it just kind of had what I would call like a spooky element to it. And so really that song, it was inspired by my brother, I guess you'd say, but I'd almost say it's about ghosts in a way. It's just basically that, that feeling that basically people are, still there. They're gone, but you haven't, you still have the sensation that they're there. I mean, simple stuff. I drive by my brother's house and I'm still looking to see if his car is there. Stuff like that. Those kind of feelings. So it's kind of written a little bit about that. So I wouldn't say that song is 100% about my brother, but for sure very inspired by that sensation and those feelings.
For some people, they don't believe this. They say, when you're dead, you're dead. This is your only the atom is left. There's nothing. Yeah. When a good friend of mine passed away 2 weeks ago, and I heard it on the news, and I knew it would happen because he had cancer, and I was very, very touched about this. So what happened in 4:30 in the morning? I just closed my lights and I turned around and I was thinking about him. In this moment, I felt somebody touch me on my back, and I thought my wife came in to my studio. I sleep in my studio. I thought my wife is here, and she checked on me. I'm still alive because I was a little bit sick on this day. And I turned around and there was nothing there. I said, and I called immediately my very good friend, and I told her, she's 87. She believes in this. And I said, you know what's happened to me just right now? I felt the hand. And he said, this was him. He said, goodbye. He said, don't worry, I'm fine. Something like this. Some people believe this, some people not, but I know what I felt. Somebody touched me exactly this moment when I was thinking about him.
Yeah.
And
you believe it. You'll believe it when it happens to you.
It happens to me not only when my son passed away. Something very strange happened. Very strange happened. In this moment he died, our car broke down. I was on tour in Germany. This moment I was looking at the watch. It was 1:30 in the morning, and suddenly the car 1 kilometers done, fucked up. And
Wow.
Then I got a call. My son passed away in Thailand. Exactly the same moment. Exactly.
Yeah. Well, you're basically hitting the nail on the head with what the song is about. That was exactly what I was thinking about and had in mind, and I think a lot of us have experienced things like that, and when you do, it leaves you with that feeling of, are you with me? Are you with me still?
Yeah, there's more than what we see.
Okay, we are now on the last song. The first song will be the last song, the title track. So who came up with the idea with this locomotive? Like even who had this Motorhead had some locomotive. What was the idea to this artwork?
Actually, the funny thing is, I at first wanted to call the album "Are You With Me," and I had gone to the artist and asked him to come up with some sort of concept of, because I'd seen some artwork of his where he had like a ghost in the background. I had this, and so we screwed around with like a few different designs, but what was funny is in the end we just weren't really digging it. And that's finally when Joe come in. And it's like, Todd, just stop with it. Call the album off the rails. Let's put a locomotive running off the tracks, and tells Jean-Pierre to come up with something, and he did, and like he came back with something really quick that we were like, oh, that's awesome. That's the funny part. I mean, I kind of tried for something else, but just as a song, like I said, that's one of those songs where it was almost like the lead single, but it was the lead single, but I'm saying it was almost like the lead song on the album even too, just because. But I ended up going with "Are You With Me?" Just, I don't know. I had to do a little more roller coaster because there was some more moody songs. I had to space them out on the album. So, but yeah, that song is like I said. There's just a lot of crazy things that have been going on the last few years, and that's really the inspiration behind Off the Rails. There were these just moments where you're thinking like, "What is going on?" And that's really what that song is about.
Exactly. Up is down.
Yeah, left is right. Passes fail. I mean, it just feels like we're turned on our ear in many ways. So
for me, it's a killer track, and yeah, beautiful. You did it again. So that's the next question. What is in the pipeline? I know you're both busy, and Riot 5 always on the road. And Kurdt, Todd, first review. What is in the pipeline right now?
Well, the new Presto Ballet album will be out after the first of the year. There's going to be probably another Hall of Flame album in the spring. Todd and I are working on some stuff, but we'll don't know, we'll talk about that right now. But we're working on some stuff, and
You just did it.
yeah. But that's about all. That's all I can say about that. But yeah, I just got some. I'm just really lucky to be in a place where I'm really busy making music and writing music. So yeah, yes. Metal Church is inactive at the moment, but that might change. I don't know. So we'll see what happens. But just making lots of music, all different kinds.
Brought the death of Mike Hall to a still stand.
I'm sorry.
Has this something to do with the passing of Mike?
What does what have to do with it? Metal Church being inactive?
Yeah.
No. Just no. I'm busy doing some other stuff. I really wanted to spend some time doing some different music and doing some other projects and finishing things up. So.
Yeah, I find that too. That's one of the nice things is like when you have something alternate, like I know for me, I work on the Riot and then you get all in that, but then it's nice to come to something else. And I can see that with Kurdt too. I mean, it makes sense. You got to kind of recharge your batteries a little bit.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
It looks like you have two hearts in you, Kurdt. You have the little the melodic stuff and you have the hard stuff in you. And sometimes it doesn't fit here, but it fits perfectly here. And we found the right singer. We've taught you have the fantastic singer for this kind of music. I love it. And thanks God there are people like you who still keep this music alive and not over audio-tuned. This is the real deal. This is the sound is incredible cool, It's Great. like it lives, it punches, has melody, has passion in it, everything what a good album needs. And
thank you. That's very important. That's very important, and definitely we want to keep that in it. I mean that's the elements that attracted us to music in the first place.
Yeah, and that's somebody says who is a fan, still a fan. Even I'm a host with nearly 900 shows. I'm a fan. A metal fan, and still the old school metal fan from the 80s and 70s, 80s, and you delivered. So there will be another album one day, I guess, right?
Oh yeah, we like work. This was what it'll be. It'll be.
This was spontaneous. This was now in sync.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we love. We just enjoy working together, and so so you just don't know. I mean, I almost every time I make an album, I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna do this again. But then when you get done, you're like, maybe I'm motivated. So.
Well, yeah, if you do it right, it's a lot of work. So by the time you're done, it's like
never change a winning team, my friend. You know what we need? We need a picture, and if it's give me the best smile we have, okay? And 1, 2, 3. Got you. Looks
There's
great.
No smiling in metal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh God, I see that. Hey, it was fine when we were kids doing all that, but now it's just like, oh God, wait a minute. Like Todd, you were talking about your hair. That's what I see. Like we do photo sessions. Like, okay, you look mean. It's like, No, I'm 63. I'm not gonna look mean. You know?
I'm not really mean anymore.
I'm not that angry anymore. No, I don't want to kill. You know, so.
Like the early metal church.
Well, yeah, I
pictures.
mean that was part of the deal, the thrash metal thing, and I mean we were kids, and yeah, of course, yeah, that's part of the deal. But now it's like, no, I'm not kidding anybody. It's like, you know.
That's my biggest thing is I feel like I'm not fooling anyone. You know?
Right, exactly. I just want to make music. Yeah.
Fantastic. Gentlemen, it was a pleasure once again. This was in 3 years, the second time I had you, and I'm blessed and honored to have such incredible, great musicians and entertainers and singers and guitar players and metalheads in the show.
Music heads.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Richie. I really appreciate you taking the time to have us today.
Thank you.
All the best. Give my regards to the rest of the gangs and keep rocking.
Cool.
And I'm sure there's more coming.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, one more time, here is Off the Rails, the title track from this fantastic album. Don't miss it. Buy this album. It's worth. It's a killer. Gentlemen, I salute you.
Leaning close, I have something to tell you if you have a moment to spare. But let me first check prevailing winds, 'cause there's something strange in the air. It's kind of hard not to notice the changes. Our freedom isn't so ironclad. It's no surprise that so many people are wondering if our world has gone mad. There is a growing list of things we dare not discuss. Touching on one of them will surely invite animals. It is out and up is down. I feel our world
This is Metalheads Forever. I am Blaze Bailey, and I am telling you, this is probably the best heavy metal show in the world.
Hey, da ist noch jemand da. Moment mal, schnell. Entfernen. So, liebe Freunde, da bin ich wieder. Mit neuen Hintergrund. Was sagt er dazu? Hat es nicht geil aus? So, das war jetzt mal wieder interessant, mal wieder ein Interview zu schauen. Das Video zu Gone zum Beispiel habe ich heute noch schnell gebastelt, weil ich wollte nicht bloß ein paar Effekte, sondern habe da schnell ein Lyric-Video. Ist kein offizielles Video, muss ich dazu sagen. Aber es ist so ein geiler Song. Ja, es war wieder ein Vergnügen für mich, mit Todd Michael Hall und Kurdt Vanderhoof zu reden. Der Wahnsinn. So, meine Lieben, jetzt gibt es jetzt mal eine Begrüßung, alle, die noch da sind. Und toll, dass ihr noch da seid. Unser mein lieber Danny, mein lieber Schweizer Nachbar. Der Nachbarinsel. Servus, sei gegrüßt. Der alte Mann ist wieder aufgestanden, unglaublich. Dann der Rock'n'Roll King, Dude ist da, servus. Dann die Gisela, liebe Gisela, servus. Der Schorsch, habe die Ehre. Lieber Helly, servus. Der Günther ist noch da, Günther, servus. Dann der Rossi Reibmeier, servus, lieber Rossi, so geil. Der Peter Krause natürlich, habe die Ehre. Dann haben wir noch jemand. Schauen wir mal. Frenchie, unser Rüsselbär. Servus, lieber, dann Creative Reader, Greetings to Sweden. Das ist jetzt mal hier der Eberhard Ressel. Servus, lieber Eberhard, sei gegrüßt. Ihr da draußen alle, schön, dass ihr noch da seid, hoffentlich. Jetzt mal die alle hier auf YouTube und auf Facebook haben wir noch Mario Dorna, servus. Dann Jenny Lubo, Nadine Heberle, Peter Hirsch, falls er da ist. Immanuel Carmen, Martin Punch. Der Punch passt ja gerade in die jetzigen Jahreszeit rein, oder? So. Jetzt aber, vorhin habe ich was gelesen von Kahlschlag. Meine erste Band war es nicht, weil die waren noch gar nicht bei mir in der Sendung gewesen. Der allererste war David Rees. Genau. Am 4.1.2021 war der erste. Am 1.1.21 war der Bobbes und der Frankie bei mir. Aus 3 Hosts und haben wir einfach nur Musik gespielt. Und am 4.1. war dann David Rees. Mein allererster, der zweite war dann Ronny Romero. Genau. Waren gleich mal 2 Powerhouse gleich mal hintereinander gewesen. Haben wir alles nachschauen bei uns in der Metal is Forever. Das erste Jahr war Metal is Forever für alle Neuen da. Metal is Forever und dann ein Jahr später, 2022, ist dann Metalheads Forever, so wie jetzt. So, meine Lieben, ich würde sagen, jetzt haben wir so viel von Todd Michael Hall gehört und nichts vom Kurdt Vanderhoof. Das holen wir jetzt noch. Weil, wenn wir schon mal im Metal Church einen Gitarristen, die Legende haben, dann spielen wir auch was von ihm, oder? Würde ich mal sagen. Jetzt kommen noch 3 geile Songs, 3 geile Videos. Hier ist Metal Church und zwar, wie heißt das Song nochmal? Muss ich schon mal sagen? A God and Pray. Hier sind Metal Church. Metal Church, Pick a God and Pray. Jawohl. Also Metal Church, wenn der anfängt zu spielen, dann weißt du immer genau, das ist Metal Church, oder? Das ist unglaublich, dass man das so ein, wie bei Maiden, wenn du Maiden oder Tours, du hörst genau, wer es ist. Auch Wahnsinn. Ja, ich bin auch total begeistert von Red Pack Records. Ich muss den Joe jetzt mal angucken, ob man nicht vielleicht mit dem mal ein Special macht, Behind the Scenes, und mal ihm vorstellen, weil der hat so geile Bands, und ja, die muss ich jetzt mal schauen. Ich muss jetzt mal über Todd Michael Hall schauen, dass ich ihn irgendwie eine E-Mail schicken kann, weil der ist cool. Endlich ein Label, ein amerikanisches Label, wo ich auch die Musik spielen kann, ohne dass es geblockt wird. Das ist ja schon mal was wert, ne? Und der hat so einen geiler, der hat den Gitarristen von Queensryche, Todd Lynch ist bei ihm, Todd Latour, und der kommt halt so noch. Die nächste Band heißen All-Terrain und Defy. Der Song, auch geile Band, auch auf dem, heute ist die komplette Sendung Red Pack Records. So, hier ist All-Terrain. Alter Rhein und DeFi. Sehr, sehr cool. Liebe Freunde, das war eine geile Woche, muss ich sagen. Mir kommt es vor, als wenn jede Woche fast besser wird. Also wir steigern uns jetzt von den Zuschauerzahlen unglaublich. Der Montag gleich mit Best of Metal habe ich gerade gesehen, also 979 plus noch ein paar hundert noch von Facebook mit dazu. Unglaublich. Mystery Moon 4200. Unglaublich. Und die Woche war richtig magisch, weil wir einen riesen Jump gemacht haben von unseren Followers von 3250 was glaube ich, auf 3250 auf 3415 in dieser Woche. Das ist ja unglaublich. Das ist ja richtig, richtig geil. Das macht aber auch aus, weil wir so viele Bands am Montag spielen. Wenn da 25 Bands so und jeder, da teilt es noch und so und so wird dann der Schuh draus, liebe Freunde. Ja, das war eine geile Woche. Ich sage danke an euch, dass ihr immer dabei seid und uns unterstützt und einfach ja, mit im Chat mit dabei seid. Das ist so toll. Das macht mir richtig Spaß und gestern war wieder eine dieser Shows gewesen, wo ich sage, Mensch, mal, das, wenn es eine Band so schafft, mich so in den Bann zu ziehen, wie die Jungen von Impact und auch so viel geiles Zeug rauskommt, jeden Tag, super coole Musik, macht mich total happy. Wenn ich immer in der Früh dann mein Powernap mache, 2 Stunden, da schlafe ich immer mit einem Grinsen irgendwie ein, weil es mir gut geht. Weil die Metalheads das auch danken. Ich habe so wieder total nette Nachrichten von Bands bekommen und jetzt auch wieder Bands mich anschreiben, hey, wie schaut's aus, können wir in die Show kommen? Das Booking läuft jetzt so brutal. Ich habe jetzt noch etliches zu beantworten. Jetzt sind wir schon fast voll bis März schon wieder, also 20 Uhr. Jetzt machen wir oben drauf. Wird sehr, sehr cool, Freunde. Bleibt uns erhalten. Am besten Patreon. Die, wo noch nicht dabei sind, Patreon, da ist was ganz Geiles. Jetzt möchte ich mir noch mal erklären, was da mit Patreon passiert. Und zwar, was im Januar passiert. Nämlich der letzte Sonntag im Monat gibt der Lucky Metal Sunday ab 20 Uhr. Nur einmal im Monat. Und da gibt es massiv zu gewinnen. Und natürlich, die Bands schicken es direkt an die Gewinner. Und wenn es klappt sogar, hole ich die Bands rein und können dann den Gewinner direkt dann gratulieren und dann signieren, dass der Name drauf kommt. Und Festival-Tickets gibt es zu gewinnen. Ein paar Festivals haben schon zugesagt. Also der freut sich schon am 26. Januar. Das wird mit Sicherheit ein geiler Abend. Das ist der Sonntag. Habt ihr entweder Tatort oder habt ihr Metal einmal im Monat. Der Lucky Metal Sunday. Der wird richtig geil. 7 Bands haben schon zugesagt und ich habe jetzt noch eine ganz riesen Liste. Da werde ich aus dem Vollen schöpfen können, weil macht jeder mal mit. Also, einmal im Monat wird es super, super geil. Und natürlich Montag bis Mittwoch ab Januar. Jetzt haben wir noch bis Donnerstag. Also, Freunde, wir sagen, schauen wir mal kurz in den Chat rein, ob noch irgendwas gibt. Pumpen hoch auf Richie. Ja, ich habe vorhin schon gelesen. Ich wollte bloß nicht ins Interview reinpushen, wie der Richie am Montag ausschaut. Ja, genauso blöd wie jetzt natürlich, aber ist bei mir ist ja schon Freitag, mein letzter Tag mit 5 vorne dran und dann morgen dann 6. Ja, leck mich doch am Arsch. Also alter Depp bin ich dann. Peter Krause, danke dir. Helly, danke dir. Danny, Servus. Creative Reader, greetings. Sorry, I speak German to my Pappenheimer. Greetings to Sweden. Dann Ebert, ja, Kaffee, genau. Das gilt immer noch. Kaffee kann man mir nicht genug schenken. Okay. Metal Forever, Richie, morgen gibt's. Ja, nochmal, mich haben zum Beispiel ein paar Leute angeschrieben, das kann ich euch sagen. Also, die wollten meine Adresse haben, um mir eine Karte zu schicken oder ein Päckchen. Sage ich, nichts schicken mit Post. Der Danny hat es mir gerade bestätigt, das kommt bei uns gar nicht an. Also, wenn es bei Temo kommt schon an. Also, aber sogar der Danny hat mir gestern erzählt, dass da sogar mit FedEx, dass er nachfragen muss, wo das Zeug bleibt und verschwunden und so. Und ja, also, wer mir was Gutes tun will, ein Kaffee und Kuchen, sehr gerne über PayPal. Das werde ich dann natürlich am Samstag genießen. Ich nehme euch mit, denn ich bin am Samstag wieder in meinem Lieblingsrestaurant im Viking mit meiner kleinen Familie. Und dann nehme ich auch wieder mit, werde meinen Rundgang machen und feiere meinen 60. Jetzt bin ich ein alter Depp. Beide im Viking und tun wir schön essen und nehme ich wieder mit der Kamera. Okay? Das war's, liebe Freunde. Ich wünsche euch alle ein wunderschönes Wochenende. Bleibt gesund, werdet gesund. Gesundheit ist das Wichtigste. Und wir sehen uns wieder am Montag in alter Frische mit 60 Jahren am Buckel und mache dann Best of Metal. Ich habe schon wieder ein Riesenprogramm. Jetzt schon wieder gesammelt. Ich sammle eine ganze Woche, suche ich schon, dass ich wirklich am Montag wieder ein geiles Programm habe und wieder neue geile Sachen gibt von den Bands. Also Freunde, das war's gewesen. Jetzt gibt's noch den geilen Todd Torre. Ich weiß nicht, oder Todd Torre spricht man aus, ne? Der Sänger jetzt von Queensryche. Und an dem bin ich dran, weil ich werde schauen, dass ich diesen Joe an Bord kriegt, dass der mir einen George Lynch bringt, dass der mir einen Todd Torre bringt, dass der einen Wilson von Queensryche bringt, der hat auch ein Solo-Ding gemacht. Ja. Und der Ebert schreibt, wir freuen uns alle auf Montag, genau. Montag ist immer fast meine Lieblingssendung, muss ich sagen, weil ich immer so geile neue Bands finde. So, das war's gewesen. Ich würde sagen, Todd Torre, Critical Cynic ist der Song. Und das war's gewesen. Was sagt überhaupt zu meinem Hintergrund? Ist es nicht geil? Tun wir mal kurz mehr rein. So, Freunde, das war's gewesen. Shownummer, was haben wir heute? Kommt 857 ist der Rap. Noch ein Song. Und dann schaue ich ein bisschen Fernsehen, dann schlafe ich ein bisschen und dann geht's zum Haarschneiden. Jawohl. Okay, Freunde, das war's. Danke euch. Bis zum Montag, 20 Uhr. Und hier ist Todd Torre und Critical Cynic. Adios.
This is Metalheads Forever. I am Blaze Bailey, and I am telling you, this is probably the best heavy metal show in the world.
Diese Show wurde euch präsentiert von Newton Artworks. And don't forget, like, subscribe and hit the bell. Thank you for watching. We salute you.